Taking it back to the good old bad days. Back in the 80s and 90s, to the spectrum of silence, when nobody knew about autism, nobody knew about spectrum disorder, nobody talked about mental health. If you couldn't sit still, you were a troublemaker. If you couldn't read, you were dumb. If you cried, you were a crybaby. If you asked for help, what the hell do you want now? I had one of the years in Boy Meets World on TV, trying to show us what life was supposed to be like. Stand By Me days and Goonies nights. No soft lessons, no gentle voices, just a drunk dad sunk into the couch with a cheap beer bottle, sweating his hand as he told me, life's tough, kid, so get tougher. No TikTok diagnosis, just WWF in the living room. TGIF on Friday nights, a Sabado Gigante blasting every Saturday like it was the damn Super Bowl. When I was a kid, nobody cared how I felt. No therapist, no labels, just suck it up, kid. We didn't know any better, 'cause nobody showed us better. Growing up between TV shows and flying chanclas, trying to figure out a world that never came with direction. Growing up there was no ADHD, you were just slow. The kid who never shuts up, the one always sent to the principal's office. Problems reading, no one said dyslexia. You were just dumb, what don't you get dummy? ESL was my day, my night, my whole damn life. Blurry pages, eyes burning from squinting, letters swimming on the page. Mrs. Fuentes sang, repeat after me. Yeah. I couldn't read the tiny letters, couldn't see the chalkboard, but I was the dumb one 'cause we couldn't afford glasses. Welfare was a fairy tale, like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and a dad who remembers your birthday. But I tried with paler shoes and cheap-ass clothes from Irvin's moms, working 2 jobs, teachers who barely remembered our names. We didn't know any better, we were just surviving the 90s with blockbuster dreams. A latchkey generation in full hood reality, man. Those times, the good old bad days, they hurt, but they built us. Choked on spelling tests in 4th grade, 5th grade too. Spell responsibility, yeah right. Bro, I couldn't even spell the street I lived on, 'cause every letter on the page blurred like those scrambled Cinemax channels at night. Teachers yelled, stop daydreaming. Life isn't Cartoon Network, but honestly Cartoon Network taught me more morals than half the adults around me. The NWO for life, WWF raw. Monday Night Wars was my therapy. Stone Cold didn't need glasses, but shit I did. Every time I stared out the window, they call me lazy. Never anxious, never overwhelmed. Never maybe this kid's brain is drowning quietly. Nah, it was always my fault. When I was a kid, nobody cared how I felt. No therapist, no labels, just suck it up, kid. We didn't know any better, 'cause nobody showed us better. Growing up between TV shows and flying chanclas, trying to figure out a world that never came with direction. Now I look back at those good old bad days, and damn, we weren't slow, we were just surviving. Immigrant parents doing the best they knew. Old country love, band-aids for broken hearts, Vicks Vapor Rub for trauma. Say a prayer for anxiety, be calm for overstimulation. They meant well, but no one taught them better. If I could talk a little gummy, I'd say, you're not dumb, you're not broken, you're wired different. Autism, that's your superpower, kid. But nobody told me that, so I learned it the hard way. In classrooms, on the streets, in real life. Autism, the name for the chaos in my head. Learned to guess the hide to pretend I understood. Fake it till I made it, fake it till I belonged. To be the great pretender, I survived without knowing what was happening in my mind, and somehow I made it. I was the kid who didn't know what the hell was happening. Now I'm the adult finally putting a name to it. When I was a kid, nobody cared how I felt. No therapist, no labels, just suck it up, kid. We didn't know any better, 'cause nobody showed us better. Growing up between TV shows and flying chanclas, trying to figure out a world that never came with direction. But here I am, still breathing, still fighting, still laughing too loud, carrying my childhood like a bootleg mixtape. We didn't know any better back then, but now we do, damn it. And I'm breaking the cycle they swore was destiny. Yeah. Funny thing is, growing up wrong is what made us right. Growing up dumb is what made us wise. Yeah. Growing up latchkey generation made me whole. We didn't know any better. Spectrum of silence, Los Hijos del Callejón. Yeah. El Gummy. Funny thing is, growing up wrong is what made us right. Growing up dumb is what made us wise. Growing up latchkey generation made me whole. We didn't know any better. Spectrum of silence, Los Hijos del Callejón. Yeah. El Gummy.